Check, 1, 2, check, check, check. Microwaves here, White Label Consulting. I am here to tell you, I don't think you're recording the right content. Hear me out. Hear me out. Let me get through my subject. A lot of times here on YouTube, we are given the opportunity to share what's on our minds and our hearts, and also hopefully share something that puts us in front of an audience. And when we share what's in front of an audience, we put ourselves in a position. We put ourselves in a position to communicate a subject with somebody. Now, the one thing that we have the leeway of is being able to talk about any and everything that we want for the purposes of engaging an audience. The audience is somebody who we've either discovered through what's called the algorithm that brought people to us, or people we've shared our previous content with. I'm coming to learn that everything that can be talked about maybe shouldn't be talked about by you. And so I was working on something that would help me figure out what I should talk about and what I shouldn't talk about. I've been working on a project here for at least the last month and a half to try to figure out, is there a way that I can allow myself to be able to discover a subject, figure out if I should talk about it or not, and then is there a way for me to actually determine whether or not it's good for me? And so I came up with something that I think will be a benefit to you. But first of all, we have to let you know that this video is brought to you by Custom Clothing. That's the brand. I'm not wearing anything custom today. I did make this shirt for my church, Bethesda. Shout out to Bethesda. That's not a gang sign. It's just something I do. And so, but go to www.custom.com. You can look on the website, choose something, put the code KUSTTOM in, and get something at a discount. Back to the subject. So I came up with something that I think would benefit us both greatly. It is called the content creation tool, right? So basically I'm gonna switch my screen over here, and here is the tool. And I'm gonna actually zoom in a little bit so we can read it together. It's in a Google spreadsheet, something I devised, I did some study on, I worked on, and figured out, would this help? And I was gonna put it in a Notion, but everybody doesn't use Notion. But at some point, I'll convert you over to using Notion sometime in the near future, because Notion's a great tool. I like it. Basically, this says that if you are, let me zoom out a little bit, sorry. Are you feeling overwhelmed by content ideas? Meaning, is there so much out there to cover that you can't figure out what you should cover, right? Well, I'm gonna help you take the guesswork out of this work. Right now, the tool is free. Once I perfect it, it won't be free, and it won't be a lot of money. $3,000, $4,000, but whatever. It helps you prioritize the perfect topics for your video, your videos, your podcast, or your blog posts. If you want to do like some if you're gonna write blog posts, you can use this for that as well. In under 5 minutes, you're gonna take a deep dive into what your audience craves, and you're gonna skip all of the topics that flop. Why? This tool is gonna help you do that. Content creation has just gotten easier. So let's go through it. There are 4 areas here at the top. There are your topics, your keywords, your possible titles, and then your research section, right? Those are your 4 tools, right? So I'm gonna zoom out here just a little bit, and you'll see right here, there's some numbers here. I don't wanna go too far down into the assessment. If you look right here, I'm gonna scroll over here to the left and the right. You'll see right here points in the bottom left-hand corner. If you are on your cell phone, you may have to scroll in a little bit, but right there, you have 4 areas for points, right? So your first area that you wanna talk about is your topics. Let's say you wanna cover a specific topics. Well, in order to start, it's my opinion, right, that you should have 3 angles of a topic that you want to discuss, right? So let's say I want to review online content creation tools like Canva, Simplified, Microsoft has one, it slips my mind at the moment, Designer, and there's a couple other ones, right? So let's say I want to cover online creation tools. And I'm going to type this in here, creation tools. Now, you see it, the moment I press enter, I get 10 points. because that's the start of it. That's the start. I need a topic before I can just jump on, turn on my camera. As a side note, this may be different for your live content. Your live content may be something you're reacting to. So, but even still, this content creation tool may work. Now, let's say that I want to cover it from a different angle. Let's say that a lot of people use Canva, but maybe they don't understand Canva, right? I use Simplified. I could put why I use Simplified. It's the same idea that I'm looking to cover, but it's in a different topic as far as a different perspective. Now, the last one is, which tool is for you? This would be more of a comprehensive review. And obviously I can tweak this in the next section of my third section, right? Which tool is for you? I can't spell right now. Bam. Now, right now I've got a possible 30 points because I came up with 3 topics. Let's roll over to the next section that's quite important, which is keywords. Keywords are important because they go in your description, right? And it does help. Right now, YouTube is a video platform, but it's owned by Google. So YouTube is a search engine optimization fueled platform. So if I go to Google and I type in any subject that I'm trying to look for, it's a possibility if that video is on YouTube, it can be found in my search results. So right here, what keywords would I use? I can use graphic design. I know you graphic designers don't like that people use Canva, our graphic designers, but get over it, okay? We're in 2024. It's just what it is, right? Graphic design, I could use the word simplified. I know many of you may not know what that is, but that's what I use. That's who sponsors me. And so you notice at the bottom, I'm adding more points, right? So I can use Photoshop. Why? Because this is gonna maybe for people who don't have Photoshop. And I kind of like that. Let's say Photoshop alternatives. I'm gonna change this over here. Photoshop alternatives in my second box for my topic. So those are my 3 online creation tools, Photoshop alternatives. What tool is for you? And so back to my keywords: graphic design, simplified, Photoshop, right? What's another one I can use? I can put thumbnails, because you can use this to make thumbnails, right? Now, what's another keyword I can use for this? I can use the word Canva. You know, it might be something that I'm showing people how to use something like Canva. Microsoft has their own version of it called Designer, which I played with a little bit. I can put Designer. These are my keywords. If you're using ChatGPT or some other software like that, artificial intelligence, to help you craft some of your ideas, you probably could use that as well. But the point is to come up with keywords. Now, I'm at 18 points in my keyword section, right? It's going to give me 3 points every time I come with keyword. Now let's get to the third area, which is your titles. Now, you may not have all your titles worked out, but you want to have maybe just an idea of some titles that you may think would work. So let's go with something catchy like you don't need Photoshop anymore. That's a catchy title. When I drop that title in, it gives me 5 more points. Let's put online. What can we put here? I'm trying to think. This is a real-time video, so I haven't thought it out. But this is helping me think. Remember, I told you it would take you less than 5 minutes. So let's put online. Let's put this. Let's put review. What's going on here? Did I do something wrong? Okay, there we go. Review of the online designers. Now, I don't like that one either, but I'm just trying to get some titles in here, right? Let's do something like graphic design is not what you think it is. Design is not what you think it is. Bam. And let's come up with another one. Let's go something that alternatives to Canva. And the reason I'm using Canva as an example, because it's the biggest platform out there. So you want to bring people in, and you want to have some type of hook for your people to. My camera's out of focus real quick. There you go. You want to have some type of hook to your title. Now, these will change, but as you notice, I've gotten 5 points for every title. Now, here's the 4th section, your outline and your notes. And this is a section that we all need work on. You need to work on studying your topic before you actually get into it. So watch this. Have you researched the subject at all? That's a good question. whatever subject you're thinking about, have you looked into it? Have you studied it? Have you looked on some articles? Have you looked at some other videos? And it's okay to look at other content creator videos to get some insight on thoughts, but you don't necessarily want to copy their content. So I'm going to say I've researched the topic because I've dealt with several online platforms. I can use some more research, but I'm going to put yes. It gives me 15 points right there, right? Now, do you have an idea for your thumbnails? I do have an idea for my thumbnails, but I'm going to put no just to show you something, right? Is this something my audience would want to see me cover? Does this topic resonate with my old audience, those who have left my platform, because you want them to come back, my current audience, because you don't want them to leave your platform, and my future audience, those who will find you and you want them to become your current audience? Those are the three audiences you're working with. You're still appealing to people who have left your platform or unsubscribed. They just didn't find any value in what you were creating, and so you need to bring them back, right? So those are the three areas I'm looking for. Yes, my audience, which I mainly work on how to help people create content, will benefit from this, right? Now, last section over here, outlining notes. If you have any notes that you've taken online, Apple Notes, something through OneNote or Google Notes, Google Keep, Evernote, anything like that, put a link in here to the notes that you've actually taken for the subject. Now, once you fill those 4 areas out, we're going to scroll down a little bit. We're going to get to the good part of this content creation tool. You're going to get an assessment score right here. Now, my assessment score happens to be 88, and I'll make this just a little bit bigger so you can see what my assessment score is. And bam, my assessment total for my content creation tool is 88 points, right? So now we're gonna go down to the scale on whether or not I should create this content, which is the meat of the content creation tool. This will help me weed out what I just feel like talking about and what I actually should talk about, because the ability for me to be able to fill this out is what makes the content creation tool a good tool for you. Now, if I have anywhere from 80 points up, the legend says you have a good grasp of the topic and idea of multiple titles and have put in the work to produce a quality show. 51.79, it's not saying don't record, but listen, it's saying you're almost there. Consider putting in a little more thought into the subject. 0 to 50. If you start this out and you have 30 points, you probably should let somebody else cover that topic. Not because you're not capable of covering it, but really having a grasp what you should be doing. Content creation, right? It's not just about you creating any content. It's about creating the content you're supposed to be covering. The description says right here, this tool is not to discourage you from recording content, and that's spelled wrong. Yeah, the description says this. The purpose of this tool is not to discourage you from recording content. It gives you a brief snapshot to the content that you, the content creator, on which subject you should cover, and which ones maybe you leave to the next content creator, right? It's only should be used as a resource to help you plan out your next week's schedule. And I'm gonna make an edit right here because I can't spell resource. It should be a C. Yes, I did that live. This is what I do. So over here, assessment score. Upon completing the assessment score, please add up the totals. It's already adding it up for you. It gives you a calculator score of what you should record. And right there is your entire 4 to 5 minute dive into whether or not you should record the subject. Now, what's the cool thing about this is this content creation tool, we've already placed 10 templates at the bottom. It's already giving you 10 different tabs to where you could actually plan out 10 subjects. You can go back and edit this and review it. You can make a copy of it in your own Google spreadsheet and help plan out almost a month's worth of content. Why do I say a month? Well, because if you do 1 show a week, right? Let's say you do 2 shows a week. We're giving you 5 weeks to help you plan out your content, as well as you should be repurposing your long form videos to where you should be getting 2 to 5 shorts out of every single video you create. Now, if you do something like this, even if you don't use mine, even if you just kind of do your own thing, this should help you figure out what you should record what you shouldn't record, and how much effort you should put into putting your shows and your content together. Why? Because you have a specific audience that you should be dealing with. And your audience is only going to be there if you continue to cover the subjects that appeal to them for the people that are listening and watching and subscribing to your channels. If you're busy doing something that has nothing to do with you and you're piggybacking off of other content creators, yeah, it might bring some views and it might bring some subs, but the problem is that those subs are not going to stay. They're not going to stay long term because you just basically tickled their ears and you just made them feel like that's what they want to watch, and then you'll just have non-active, non-participating subs and watchers that and views that you don't really need. So going back again, the content creation tool covers your topics, gives you 3 opportunities to review how your topic should go. Gives you up to 10 keywords, which is good for your description, possible titles, and then the key areas are: have you researched a subject? Have you thought about any ideas for thumbnails? And is this something your audience would love to see you cover? Those are the things that I think that will help you get your content together in 2024. I know we're already into the 4th month almost. We just passed Palm Sunday going into Easter. So you really need to start dialing in the first quarter and look at what you've done that did not succeed and look at how you can improve over the second quarter. I think a tool like this can help you. Right now it's free. All I need you to do is comment below if you think it might benefit you. I'll contact you offline. I'll send you a link. I have a couple of YouTubers that I work with that have already tried this tool out. They said it was a great idea, and I'm also working to improve it. But I definitely want you to consider using this tool so that your content doesn't suck anymore, because I'm using it myself, because some of my content sucked. So I'm trying to get out of the year of sucky content. I got to get ready to go to church because I got to go help teach a Bible study. So I hope you have a good day. Michael Williams, until the next time, God bless you. Good evening, good night, goodbye.